Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 6:45 PM and a quorum of members is present. So the meeting of the Board of Education of the School District of New Berlin is called to order. Please call the roll.
Ms. Crosby,
Yes.
Mr. Helmer,
Oh, sorry, here. That's the wrong thing.
Here, you almost got me too.
Ms. Konick, Ms. Schultz,
Here.
Mr. Seidel,
Here.
Ms. Spindler,
Here.
Mr. Zelinski.
Let's see, Ms. Konick let me know that she's unable to attend this evening. So next I will entertain a motion to recess to closed session.
I move to adjourn into closed session pursuant to section 19.85, 1C, E, and F of the Wisconsin statutes to consider A, the approval of closed session minutes of August 25th, and B, the employment, performance, and compensation matters pertaining to staff.
I have a motion by Ms. Crosby and a second by Mr. Zelinski. Please call the roll.
Ms. Crosby,
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski,
Yes.
Mr. Helmer,
Yes.
Ms. Schultz,
Yes.
Mr. Seidel,
Yes.
Ms. Spindler.
Yes.
We're moving into closed session. We'll return to open session around 7 o'clock. It is now 7:08 PM, and we are returning from closed session into open session. In recognition of the serious and important nature of our efforts here, we will join in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. For all those who are able, please rise. And now for those who wish to prepare for the meeting, we will have a moment of silence. This is a public meeting of the Board of Education. Prior to this meeting, notice was given to the public library last Friday by providing the agenda to this, sorry, I read this wrong. Prior to this meeting, notice was given to the public last Friday by providing the agenda to the city library. The agenda was also posted on the district website. A copy of the agenda was forwarded to the Journal Sentinel and the Waukesha Freeman, all of which have filed requests for all public notices. Do we have anybody for privilege of the floor this evening?
No.
President's message, welcome back to school. To our students, we can't wait to see what you will achieve this year, and to our staff, thank you for your commitment to our students' success. Let's make this a great year. Next, we have our superintendent's update.
I'll defer to the items on the regular agenda, thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda, which includes notice, the approval of minutes of the board meeting on August 25th, and the 2025 seclusion and restraint reports. Are there any items that should be pulled out for separate consideration? Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Seidel and a second by Mr. Helmer to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. On to the regular agenda, we have an employment services update.
So as the board is aware, our Employment Services Department provides 2 updates throughout the year, kind of on a very consistent basis other than just updates as needed. Last time you heard from Scott, Scott provided feedback based off of the survey. And then this particular update is related to the hiring effects over the course of the summer heading into the school year. So with that, I'll hand it over to Scott Garner.
Good evening. Thanks for having me here tonight. It is now, I think, month 4 or so that I've been in the district. It's been a great experience thus far. We're going to go over quickly the hiring season that we experienced this summer with the slides, and here we go. So essentially for this year, as we look at the 24, 25 resignations, et cetera, retirements, that's what we have. We have 13 as compared to 21 last year, 12 the year before, 27. It's kind of gone up and down, as you can very well see. We continue to stay under that 5%, especially this year, that 5% retention rate. So we're pretty excited about that. That is it's very unique. In districts our size, typically you're looking at roughly a 10% typical retention or loss of staff over year to year. So this is a great indicator that New Berlin is a place where people want to stay and where people want to actually go. Because as we look at this, we have a 95% retention rate, but then even better, what I wanted to tell you, and I didn't put it in the slides, but we had several applicants, 200 and about 50 applicants total for our positions this summer, and frankly, it's a total of a roughly, if we look at between the teachers, Cs, and SLAs, we're looking at just under 30 positions, which is a lower number, right? Normally, we would see a higher number. I would expect a higher number, but being at my first year here, I was pleasantly surprised to see that. And so we have plenty of people who want to be here. The specific positions, obviously, we have more applicants for teacher positions and probably more so in the elementary than we do at the high school, but there again, we still have a good applicant pool, and we continue to pursue those through our advertising on Indeed, LinkedIn, you name it. We can, all the normal places, and then word of mouth with our referral program. So we continue to pursue that, and we will continue to pursue those. Here we go. One of the things that I was pleasantly informed of as I entered the district here, we have a portfolio process, which it sounds like you're very familiar with. Every 3 years, our teachers are able to essentially scrapbook or document their work that they've done over the last 3 years, and as they put that together, including student data, leadership, professional learning, they wrap it all up into a kind of a neat portfolio that the directors and myself all review. They are able to do that on their summary year of evaluation, so that's once every 3 years. We had a large group this year. It was 66 were eligible for the portfolio. We had 62 actually complete the portfolio. So that's a great way to take advantage of what our district has to offer to our employees. It's a great way to bump up their salary and to then kind of show off their work, if I do say, because it makes us aware of what's going on. The principals also have to look at these portfolios, and it gives us a good sense of who's doing what in the district. So 89% total eligible. As you can see, we have the breakdown there. I don't have to read that for you, but 97% of the people who completed portfolios did so at a high level, so they received the $3,000.
Scott, can you touch base a little bit about who is eligible for, like who's not eligible for a portfolio?
Yeah, you bet. Based on who's eligible for the portfolio are the highly qualified teachers, meaning they haven't been on a performance improvement plan in the last year or 3, and they are of noteworthy performance in their school. There's no discipline issues. There's no kind of other employee issues surrounding that person. They're allowed then to show off their work. So we do have a system in which we look at frontline and their SLOs and all the rubrics there, and we determine whether or not they qualify. Typically, it's fairly easy in the sense that if you do your job as a teacher as you should be able to qualify every 3 years for that portfolio. We try not to make it insurmountable, because then what's the point? We want to make sure our teachers can earn it, but they also have to put forth a lot of effort. Yep. Our action plan. What I noticed from last year's presentation is we created an action plan this year, last year as well, so I included it this year. I started the second one because we're always continually trying to look at competitive compensation. In this market, we have to. But the goal, the second bullet point down, really refers to our team. Our employment services team, we're transitioning 4 new roles. While I'm not new to HR and employment services, I'm certainly new to the district. We're transitioning as Jackie Wagner will then take over for Barb Semrad, who will be retiring. We have Aaron Amos, who's our new coordinator of benefits, so we're transitioning all those people. And then we also have our payroll person in our department now. So we are all transitioning. We're meeting on a weekly basis, trying to make sure we know what, the right hand knows what the left hand's doing, and all of those different communication pieces. So we'll continue to transition and hopefully make it a smooth one for our employees here in the district as we continue to serve. Again, continually growing our own efforts with support staff. I can give you an example of that. Specifically in the area of special education, our market is very limited when it comes to teachers for special education, and it's very competitive. So what we try to do is look at our current employees, our current SLAs, or our current Cs, who either have a 4-year degree or want to earn one and are on their way. And we try to grow them and help support them through a program or get them licensed so that they can be a teacher for us. We have 2 situations this year that I know of that we are working to help our Cs and our SLAs grow to be a teacher and help our students in that capacity. So it's pretty exciting. We have to look from within because outside is pretty difficult at times for these positions. We will continue to monitor our benefit strategy performance. I've been in, and Pat can attest to this, been in numerous vendor meetings, getting to know all the vendors that the district works with. relative to our benefit program and the offerings that we have for the district. Trust me when I say there's a plethora of vendors and plethora of support when it comes to our benefits package and for our employees. It's really a good program. We continue to work with our vendors to make sure we have the best product for our employees to use, and again, being fiscally responsible at the same time. We want to continue to do touch points with our new hires, and what that means is our department will reach out, but we also, as you know, have a mentor program that is typically 2 years. We have several current veteran teachers that have volunteered and have been asked to be mentors to our new teachers so that they're not, our new teachers are new to the district, so they're not completely lost when they come on as a new 22-year-old teacher or even 30-year-old teacher who's done it before, but it's all new. It's a different language. So we try to support people to the best of our ability. And then, as you know, we do the surveys, and we'll continue to do the pulse surveys as we go. Any questions for me on that?
I have one real quick.
Yes.
The pulse survey, is that similar to like a stay interview? Like just to
Very
get that-
similar. It's
So-
very similar.
A stay interview usually does not discuss wages. Does that just something that people put under other comments or?
Typically, yeah, that's not something we would say. Now, I would say in a pulse survey, and I'd have to look at past surveys, we can say, what are some things you want the district to work on? And many times, wages will come up. Many, 9 times out of 10. It seems like that's a thing. In a stay interview, what we would say is, what can we do to help you stay here? What more can we do to support you? What other things? And sometimes wages come up.
Okay,
Stay interviews are more one-on-one, like you
Yeah.
and I meeting.
yeah.
Pulse surveys are more the electronic Qualtrics.
I've used them.
Surveys, yeah.
Before, so,
Yeah.
but we never discussed wages, like other studies have shown that a lot of times, people don't leave because of wages, they leave because of
Their boss.
their
right?
boss.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So showing that their boss is engaged and ask what's important to them.
Right.
Is important. So I was just curious about that. I thought about that today. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So, again, those are our goals, and that's the end of my presentation.
Scott, can we go back to the second slide?
Of course we can.
So a couple key pieces that I just want the board just to make note of is that if you go back to 21-22, the thing that's kind of triggered to be on the higher percentage of each of these, why are people leaving? It's the career change piece. So again, while we had 9 out of 21 back in 21-22, we only had 11, but 4 of those 11 were as a result of a career change. So I know that last year that was something that Nicole emphasized. Again, the number is actually half compared to last year, but percentage-wise, it's still a pretty significant factor. The other thing that I want to mention too is that the people leaving our district to go to another district, that's very minimal. And so, only 2 certified staff members left here to go to another district. And so, again, that's a good, a positive indicator for us that we continue to do right by our staff. We're listening to our staff. We're responding to their feedback. Obviously, in some cases, we can think something about it. Other times, it's a little bit, when you're talking about wage increases and so on, that's a little bit. You got to move the Titanic a little slower, So, but again, we're certainly very proud of. We can't control relocations, some of the family or personal things, but what we can control is who's choosing to leave here to go to another school district.
When
That
we say
would be-
licensed educators, would that count like someone in a managerial position that isn't a classroom teacher? So like, would you be considered a licensed educator or
I would not be. So
Okay.
these are all certified staff. So
that are in a classroom?
classroom, you've got
Support.
your librarians, OT, PT.
Okay.
Coaches, academic coaches.
But no one in district office would be under that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
No, that's a good point that Superintendent Garza makes in terms of, the career changes, you saw a lot of that after COVID. A lot of people were done with all it's not just education, it was a lot of different fields. And, you know, again, you see that, we continue to see more and more of that as people, after COVID, were kind of, what are my options now? And they wanted to pursue those. We still see that, but again, 4 is not, in my experience, 4 is nothing to be too concerned about. If it were 13, then we would be concerned, for sure.
Just curious, what happened in 17, 18 with 18 people leaving for another district? I don't recall, well, I wasn't here, but it was,
You know, I quite honestly, I don't remember.
I don't either.
I know that we had, in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
during Act 10, we
Yeah.
had, I think, a third of our staff
Yeah.
left.
No,
Because of the
yeah.
adjustments that the district made.
I was just curious, though,
Yep.
what happened?
But what's nice to see is it's trending in the right direction. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? I have a question. I know you mentioned continue to work to develop competitive compensation model. And I think the Personnel Committee a few years ago, and I know this is before you, was talking with administration that there was some thoughts as to changing this portfolio and making it something that's more often where the merit pay could be increased. So I was just wondering what, if you know anything, what's
Yeah.
happening with that?
Yeah, so we are considering making a change possibly next year, and if not next year, it would be the year after. What happens now, as Scott mentioned, is the portfolio process, you actually have to wait 3 years before you get, what is the full amount?
Full amount is $3,000.
$3,000. Some of the feedback that we've gotten is, you know, it'd be nice to be able to get an annual increase. So I'm getting my general increase, but it'd also be nice not to have to wait 3 years before I'm eligible for this additional bump in pay. And so, you know, one of the things that we're looking at is, can we streamline the process so that, and you know, what's the feasibility of it to do that on an annualized basis? So that, you know, again, you're not waiting to get that 3,000, you'd get 1,000, then 1,000, then 1,000, instead of having to wait. I think the merit pay pieces and performance pieces would not change, because, you know, the whole idea is we want folks to, you know, make sure that they're eligible based on performance. So that wouldn't go away necessarily. And so one of the things that, you know, that we're doing is we're trying to cost that out, because, you know, at one point we developed that 3-year role. And so like a third of our staff, or a third of our staff, or a third of our staff. Well, now what's interesting is when you've had now people go in and out, it's not a third, a third, a third as clean as it was way back when, just because of people coming and going. And, you know, so we want to make sure we can afford that move to do it on an annualized basis first. And then, again, what does that process look like for Scott and team? Is it a revised version of the current structure? Those are all things that we're still trying to kind of factor in before we make a move.
If I remember correctly, did DPI have something to do with what you can do? I thought there was restrictions from, and we had to get whatever, our portfolio plan was approved by DPI for some reason.
I think I'm not sure that they would have to approve our portfolio process. What we have to utilize is their performance tools.
Okay, that might be it.
And so one of the things that we were actually looking to do is we were going to apply to use what was used down in Texas to kind of come up with the portfolio process. But that's the evaluation tool. DPI did not approve that tool for us. And so that was another reason why we actually had to hit pause. So
That
it's
was it.
the tool itself, not the portfolio
Okay.
itself.
Okay. All right. If
Okay.
nothing else, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we have discuss approve the 2025-2026 board goals and guardrails. We put this on delay or postponed it at our last meeting since we had very few people here last week. So. Thank you. have to apologize. I meant to work on this some more, but this is sort of very skeleton-ish. I'll run through it before we do a motion to start discussing. So, based off of our meeting probably 3 times ago, this is what we came up with. We're going to keep the goal, the main goal. Just the action items are changing. This one is building a rolling 3 to 5 year historical type KPI for the graduation rate and participation in extracurricular activities, track ACT graduation rates, as far as what percentage went into college and what are in trades. And then there was a goal where we want to make more life-ready and career opportunities. I know this is very basic. And then staff, again, keeping the same goal with changing the key results. We're going to track high-performing retention to the annual staff survey. Keep same as last year. That meant we want to keep, we're going to continue to identify the 2 lowest scoring answers on the survey, other than pay, since we know that's always on there, and address ways to improve those scores. And then for fiscal, we're doing a full board review of the long-range facilities plan. We're gonna, we already had the presentation by the Education Foundation on the financials. Was that a full financials, or was that, I don't know if that already counts, that last meeting where we had them.
I'm not sure that they actually, like, I don't know, like, one of the
Okay.
questions we had was, what does that mean
Okay,
for the board? So, you know, essentially, let us know what you're looking for, and we'd be happy to
Okay.
add it once that's defined.
okay. We'll discuss that then. And then make a plan for what to do with the feasibility and wealth screen to be good stewards of the money. And then our final one for community, we're going to update the memorandum of understanding with the foundation. So that's going to be on a future board agenda. And then also support the administration with a capital campaign. And then add to the dashboard the 3 to 5 year goal information. So do I have a motion to approve these goals as presented? Keep in mind, we can amend them as we're talking.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second that motion.
So I have a motion by Mr. Seidel and a second by Mr. Helmer to approve the Board of Education goals for 2025-26 as presented. Okay, any discussion now? I know that Joe gave me, I should mention, he did give me his feedback on these goals, so I know there was some questions as far as his, I don't know if you want to hear from Joe first?
I was just going to answer Joe's question on the
Okay.
Education Foundation. I mean, the big thing for me would be seeing, what do they bring in from grants? So non-fundraising, but grants. What did they bring in from fundraising? What was spent on expenses, so not given out to teachers or to the school district or facilities, anything, like what are their consumable expenses? Licenses, registrations, that kind of stuff. And then what did they bring in from fundraising, I think? Spitballing, but open to.
That's what I had in mind too. I just want to see like, what's all the money that's coming in and where's all the money going out?
Because I see it all the time, like, oh, the $5,000 grant, but I don't know what in totality that whole year came in at, and then what we brought in, and how much money do they have, too? How much are they sitting on for?
Okay.
And I think, you know, there's some in the community that want to know this, so.
I think that would be good every year. What was that every year? Just kind of a balance
Yeah.
sheet of what they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, we're just seeking clarification, so that helps. And I know that Julie typically will do a presentation in the spring, if I'm not mistaken. And so we'll just, we'll make sure that these topics are included in that annual presentation to the board. Yep, come on up to the microphone, Dave.
Just one thing to consider when we do that is that we switch the timing of that because the foundation's calendar does not align with the school district's calendar. So if we were to do something more in the fall or the winter annually versus having it in spring, that would make a lot more sense from the foundation because by then they have their audit done and they're more they have all their numbers a little bit more finalized at that point. So
Ideally, I think that'd be good. We could do fall, and we could get a recap of what happened last school year.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then the financial slide or two on that.
I agree.
So what we're thinking, we'd see that this year, like
Yeah, we could.
October?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, I mean, I think Julie's presented a good chunk of that, and she presents it to her board every month, so, I mean, that information's readily available, so I think this fall or early winter
Okay.
would be fine for that. Thanks.
Okay. No, I don't think we need to amend the goal result itself. I think that it's fine. We just defined it. We don't need to put the definition in there. As long as we're on the fiscal, is there anything else that needs better definition, as far as those goals? Let's see,
Full board review of the long-range facility plan, is that something we would do annually, like an annual thing?
I don't know,
It should be.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we were talking about doing it because we hadn't really looked at, like, really did a deep dive into the long-range facilities plan for a while now.
Yep.
So we thought it was a time to take a
Yeah, I
good
think we
look
did
at
it
it.
2 years, I mean, I think we've consistently been doing it. Last year, I think we were hyper-focused on the outdoor facilities and not so much all facilities, and so we can certainly do that we should be doing that annually with the full board.
What time of the year do you think we could do this?
Patrick, any suggestion?
Yeah, when would be the best time to do this?
I think it would be good to do this later fall, winter, because that way Matt has the ability to recap all of the work that has been done the previous year, including the projects over the summer.
Okay. All right, you can have a busy, what? Oh, excuse me. I will fix that when I go back. Where did I write? Full board, oh, whoops. That is very bad of me. I went to public school. Okay, and then make a plan for what to do with the feasibility and wealth screen to be good stewards of the money. What are we looking for that one? What type of, we'll have to put something on the agenda to talk about that, to making a plan.
I mean, I think based off of what Dave presented a couple meetings ago, or was it the last meeting? A couple meetings ago, with the long-range facilities, with the outdoor facilities work, we won't know whether we will, from a high level for like a capital campaign, we won't have that information until January or February.
Okay.
But that's just one item,
Sure.
right?
Right.
But then we also, regardless of what happens with the long-range facility stuff, we've got those two potential major donors that even if that doesn't happen, Julie, for the most part, along with Dave and eventually Patrick, are going to siphon through what did we get. So like, if the people aren't willing to support the Outdoor Facilities Task Force, what was it that they were interested in? What type of capacity do they have? And then what are we doing with that? So again, if I would suggest that this is something that maybe we look at once the outcome of the two potential donors, which again, we were looking at not getting that info until like January or
Okay.
February.
So this would be something for 2026, after the new year.
Or, well, it would be this school year, but yes,
Right.
we would do it sometime early spring would be my suggestion.
Okay. Just making sure I'm planning ahead for. Ye- The long-range facility plan? Yeah,
True.
okay. So, just planning ahead for our agendas, so I just made myself a reminder for early spring for that. All right, so then let's go back to student achievement number one.
Yeah, I think our question, we had several questions. We'll start with the first one. So what we're trying to figure out is within the data dashboard, there's already things that include student achievement, and then we track a whole bunch of different things within that. And so we're just not sure exactly what the board wants that dashboard to look like.
I think it's not so much the dashboard, no, board members correct me, but I think the point was is we wanted to like set a goal where we want to be 3 to 5 years from now. So it's not that you need to change the dashboard, it's like we want to say, we want to see an improvement of so many points in ELA.
Year plan.
In,
Yep, got it.
With having the past data, so data for the past 3
Yep,
years.
and that's there, yep.
And then what we plan, where we plan to be in 3 and 5 years, or whatever it looks like.
right. So right now, as Joe has said, the past data is out there on the dashboard right now. And it's just, we would put in there, this is where we want to see ourselves. Do we want to do a
I
3-year, or
think
do we
other
want to say
districts have
5-year?
done, like, what their number will be.
Right, what we want to see. our-
2026, 2027, 2028. But I'm open to being 3 years out and 5 years out, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I think three is more realistic than 5 years down the road, because that way it can just be updated every year.
And ideally so next year, we'd show where we're supposed to be, and then we'd show where we ended up. So you'd have like a, kind of a lighter shaded number, and then the new number of, we thought we were gonna be at 18 on an ACT score, but we're at 17.6. And you can show how you're trending and how we're getting to our goal or getting away from it.
Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do we need to redefine this on here, or is this good enough to fall within that? Do you want to just make it build a rolling 3-year historical KPI?
I mean, I think we could add ELA scores. I don't know that we wanna lay out every single one of them.
Yeah. This one, we just put graduation rate and participation extracurriculars.
I think we need more than that. I mean, that's what we're measuring,
Right.
ELA scores, right? We're measuring math,
Yeah, math and ELA and ACT.
ACT.
Sure.
Because the dashboard goal is actually on a different goal, or on a different slide.
Right.
So, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the clarity is a little not as clear as it needs to be. So, because I think what you're asking for on the dashboards, if you go to maybe goal 3, might be.
Community?
There we go.
There.
So you're asking for that 3 to 5 year goal information on the dashboard.
I think those are our goals. Those are our goals that we were looking at doing.
Yeah.
3 to 5 years out. That doesn't have to do with, that didn't have,
Student achievement, staff,
oh,
and then we have the dashboard on there twice.
Yeah, because first we were going to set goals for 3 to 5 years. And then we wanted to add those goals, like sort of like what you're saying,
Yeah, to
onto
the
the
dashboard.
dashboard. So you like, if I'm understanding you correctly, we want to put, we'll have the, this is a lot of data maybe on the board, but like the past actual scores. But we want to start adding to it, what was our goal? And so what you'll see then is, here was the goal for this year, here's what our actual score was. And so then you'll see that year after year, here's what our goal was, here was what our actual, so people could see like, is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense?
are we meeting our
So
goal?
for each of, I got, just going back to the dashboard itself, there's about, I'm gonna say 20 to 22 or 3 different items that are all separated out into our 4 strategic goals. From what I'm hearing you saying is that the board is going to select a goal for each of those 22 items, a future goal.
No, just academic.
Just the academic one?
Yeah,
the
not all
academic
4 of these, just the academic one. Yeah.
That's helpful to know.
Okay.
That's helpful.
Yep,
That was
yep.
not clear to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
nope, that's.
Okay, very
thank
good.
you.
Okay, that's helpful. I'm gonna stay here though.
Sorry.
If you go back to the first one again, Janet.
Sure.
So I think we understand the first bullet. The second bullet. So we already track a lot of things in our CCR, our College and Career Readiness Dashboard. And that's college ready, career ready, and life ready indicators. And so, so we're already doing that.
Those are leading indicators, this is a lag.
Yeah, we're asking for how many students who graduated. I think, why do we have ACT, though?
I don't know. That was another
Were we
question.
trying to attach the, yeah, right.
No, I don't think, I think.
The ACT needs to be removed. It's
Yeah,
track
that might have
graduation
been my
rates.
notes for
What
wrong.
percent are going to college, what percent are going into the trades? You know-
Activities and ACT. I think you just goofed it up.
Okay, yeah, I might have
Yeah, I don't think
misread my notes.
ACT has anything,
To me, if they're ready, oh, sorry. If they're ready for college, great, like our indicators say that. But what percent went to college? What percent went into the
Right,
trades?
and
What
so-
percent didn't graduate or go into any of
Right.
them or
So
went to
here's the
work?
question, though. Like, what is the goal? Because if the goal is to increase college and the trades at the same time, they're a yin and yang relationship. Because if you're not going to college, you're going to the trades. So if you're going to try and increase it every year, those aren't realistic.
So the goal is to track, not curve.
Perfect,
And
Yeah,
that's-
I
that's
think
where
it's
we
just
wanna head.
information. We just
Yeah.
want information, I think.
perfect.
Is that what you guys are thinking?
yeah. Do we have that data?
We do not forecast it. Yep. So again, I would recommend that you look at the CCR dashboard. I had that in my board updates a couple times ago. And there's a lot of stuff already in there that we track. And so it's just a question of what else that's not in there is it that you want tracked?
Yeah, we're curious to know
So breaking it down further of,
who went on to college after graduation, who went on to trades after graduation, who
Who went into
who's
the
drifting?
military?
We don't know.
yeah, correct, yep. We can do that, yes,
Oh, okay, good.
yes,
So that info can be attained.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, and again, it's going to be what we know of in a given moment.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
Because kids change their mind, you know.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it'll be a snapshot of, this is what we had, you know, based on the end of the year, or throughout the year, this is what we gathered, and this is what we
Yeah.
project kids are gonna be doing, and we'll start monitoring that.
I mean, beyond when they leave,
When they leave at that moment, because again,
yeah, we don't know.
Because you're not tracking them
You don't know
3,
what
5
the
years.
future
No.
holds for every
No.
child. We were
No.
just kind of curious what,
Yeah.
yeah.
so, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
And then the last bullet point was, you know, so we did actually work with the Waukesha County Business Alliance, WCTC, and other post-secondary partners to drive our life and career options for courses. So for example, you're probably not going to hear us proposing philosophy classes or minimally, but not like, we wouldn't have like 8 tracks of philosophy. I think, you know, the question that we have is, like, what does more life-ready and career opportunities look like? Like, does that mean we bring in more speakers? Does that mean we have an extra career fair? Because again, kids actually drive our schedule. It's not the other way around. And so, like in the past, when we had a union, the union pretty much determined what our course offerings were going to be. Now our actually kids drive the schedule. So the more kids are taking STEM classes or our Project Lead the Way courses or construction classes, That's up to the kids and their families to determine. And so again, the question is, what would the goal be and what would that look like for that specifically?
I know, Allison, you had mentioned this one. Did you have something in mind?
Well, as far as, sometimes I feel like when kids are in the classroom, it's so geared towards college, college, college. And I do agree that at the school, like you just mentioned, there are a lot of different opportunities. Maybe in some ways, getting more involved with the community as far as like small businesses to show kids that, fine, if you're not gonna go directly down this path, besides just the trades, there's other, industries that you can get into that don't always require school. There's business that you can start. There's a lot of things now that kids are doing online, that they're earning money that is, I hate to say influencers, because I know it's like, but vast majority of these kids are starting to go those routes to where they're maybe not using that. And even in some classes, just to make sure that they're learning simple things, like being able to get out of school and write a check. Like sometimes I feel like, yes, they do something like that in elementary school to where they go to that, I can't think of the name.
BizTown, yeah, Junior
Yes,
Achievement BizTown.
Which is great, but then I feel like they get inundated with other courses that sometimes there's a misstep with that.
I guess.
It's not for every kid, obviously.
Right. So I guess, one of the things that we did last year was there was something similar that was raised, I believe, by Amy around just, can we just get a baseline of what the district does offer as it relates to AP courses? And I think it was more academic driven, where maybe we could present to you our life and career readiness options and opportunities currently. We share that with you, and then we would tell you this is what we plan on doing to move forward, or if we think then there's something missing, then we can talk about that then. So I guess my question would be, could the goal then actually just be similar to the one that we did with AP courses and additional high school options, something related specific to life and career readiness opportunities currently in the district, and then now what?
I think the problem is, I think everyone had a different version of high school when they went to it, and everyone clamors for the glory days or what we had, and I think no one really a lot of parents don't know what we have as options, and I think there might be a gap. I don't think we have everything that everyone wants,
Right.
but I think we have more of
a
what
lot.
people think we don't have.
Right.
And I
so-
think
so
there's
like-
that gap, so I think it's
Yeah,
a
and-
little bit understanding that, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, and I think, part of it, for example, is, like about maybe 10, 12 years ago, I was on a task force with Governor Walker about opportunities in high school for students. The big thing back in the day was there was a skills gap, and, kids aren't, they're not tracking into the trades like they used to. And so, like, everybody and their mother then started developing welding pits. Well, what we decided to do is, we don't have the capacity to do it here, but what we will do is we're going to find you an opportunity at WCTC that if that's your choice, then we'll transport you back and forth to WCTC, who already has the professors, already has the welding wells or whatever they're called, and everything that goes with it. Another one was an auto body shop, building mechanics. Well, they're not cheap to have. And so, again, if you want to be a mechanic, God bless you. And we've got an offering at WCTC that'll do that.
I think in that case, that list is green for we have it, yellow for it's an offering outside of here, and
Yep.
then it's coded red if we don't have it, or orange if we're looking into it, or whatever, something
Sure.
like that.
Yeah, but I think starting with the baseline and then going from there may be what we should, like we did with the AP courses and other offerings in the high school this last year.
What's that time of day when all the seniors skip out? There's like an hour a day.
Advisory?
Advisory. Sorry. So as part of advisory, I know that when my kids were here, they said that there was one that they went to that they've actually found some use to, and it was the one where they learned to change a tire. Things such as that, things that I've known, but I've never quite taught them how to do it.
Yeah.
So, like we talked about writing a check. Could that be
Yep.
slipped into advisory at some point in time? I don't know how regimented that time is.
And I know that we updated advisory this year.
Yeah, and I know that's terrible to say that all the seniors skip, but when you have open campus, they just never seem to, sorry.
But again, we can bring a presentation with the options that we currently
Now,
offer.
mind you, I'm 3
Yep.
years past this.
Okay.
Wasn't your kids, right? No. So those are the comments, questions related to this goal anyway, Janet.
Okay, so I know where this one's gonna have to be amended because it's going to be building a 3-year historical KPI for graduation rate, participation in extracurricular activities, ELA, math, and ACT. And then it should be, we want to track graduation rates for the percentage that go on to college and the percentage that goes on to trades. And then the last one should be have administration present what the district offers for life writing and career opportunities and explore options from there. So can I have an amendment for that, what I just said, and I will write it
So
up?
moved.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Seidel and then a second by Mr. Helmer to amend the action items for goal number 1 per what I just stated.
And two.
And,
Oh,
well,
number one, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, we're on number
Not-
1,
not
so
the
we're,
action
we're changing all 3 action items. Any discussion on that amendment? We're good? Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. All right, that motion passes, so that amendment is done. Do we want to do anything with number 2?
And we had no comments or questions
Okay,
here.
I think this is pretty much the
Yep.
same, so we're good. So 2 will stay, 3, we just explained more, we're gonna keep them as is, though.
Yep.
Okay, number 4, do we want to make any changes there?
Again, the only thing I would suggest with the second one, the second bullet point,
Mm-hmm.
is it's assuming that we will have a capital campaign.
Okay,
But there's no guarantee that we will.
I don't think the resolution was to do something. I think it was to investigate it.
Well, right, that's,
right, I think that the thing is, maybe this should have been written to say, if there is one, support the administration with a capital campaign as needed.
Yeah, because our last goal was ensure the outdoor facility task force fulfills the resolution. So
Yep.
It's similar to that, right? We're still not, I think we thought we'd be further along maybe with it.
Or we were just assuming it was gonna happen, or, I don't know,
I would say as needed, or if needed.
if needed.
If needed, yep.
That's
Yep,
probably the best way to go.
exactly.
Okay,
about
maybe
it.
I did this wrong. I wonder, do I need to, can we do another amendment? I haven't done amendments for a long time. I'm amending them as we go.
Do we need it? I don't know that we need it.
You know, I don't, I
Well,
still
the
works,
the motion was
I'll-
originally as presented.
I'll-
And we're making changes.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to amend the second bullet point to say after capital campaigned, if needed.
Second?
Second.
We have a second? Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Seidel, second by Ms. Crosby, to amend goal number 4, bullet point number 2, to add if needed. Any discussion? And hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. So I believe then we've approved all those goals. Did we, and I don't think we're going to change the guardrails. Those are the same. Any discussion on guardrails?
I would ask Janet that we look at the third bullet point. You know, we do have comments and questions in that document that I shared with you. I don't think it needs to be, I mean,
I think I've discussed this with you before. I think the board doesn't want to have a community member tell us something before you do. That's the whole point.
Yep, and I understand that. So So is that for every employee?
If there is something you think that a community member might have an issue with, you need to let the board know first. Anybody, does that make sense?
I think the question is this for every employee?
Oh, not just teachers?
I don't know.
Yes,
It's
I would think so, yeah.
for every employee.
If there's any
And then-
employee where you think,
And again, like, we can't necessarily share legal issues or accusations of misconduct.
If they're in the open.
but if you're about to hire somebody, that's what we mean. If you're,
He's talking.
okay.
You're saying if
Yeah.
you have knowledge of them, but it's not public knowledge, you can't share that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's discrimination issues related to that as it relates to hiring. And then the
I'm thinking,
the other
isn't
thing
this if you're
too
about to
is,
give an offer to somebody, you're already knowing you're gonna offer somebody a position.
and this is like, again, rank and file, food service worker. I mean, this is everybody. And then, so like, what does legal issues mean to the board? So is that, am I now sharing with the board every background check on every employee?
No.
And then where do we draw that line then? Is it a parking ticket? Is it, because that is a legal issue.
I think it's something that would affect the children most of.
Criminal.
Or we'd be afraid somebody was like accused of embezzling in the past or anything. that would
Theft,
affect-
criminal,
Yeah,
child-related issues.
It's a very gray area, and if I'm being held accountable to it, I think we need more detail.
We can certainly work through it.
yeah, we can work.
Let's
with it.
work-
And
I mean,
obviously,
let's
it'll have
find
to
the
be in
first
closed
three-
session because we have examples, so.
Yeah. Let's walk through 3 examples and.
Yep, and, or like, for example, accusations of misconduct. Okay, if somebody accuses somebody on social media, now do I have to vet people through social media to make sure nobody was ever accused of something along the way?
I think that's a lot different. We're going a little bit into the ditch, I think, on that one, so. we
But
can-
that's the point, that's
I
why I
understand.
think we need clarification
We can,
is,
we can walk through examples.
yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Any other comments, questions, changes? All right. Oh, now, board development, I forgot to follow up with you, Joe, because you had mentioned we could do a workshop from CISA. Did you find out anything from them on what they offer?
I was waiting to see what was, if the board would be interested in something like that or not. And if so, I know that we can make it happen because we actually had CISA present to all of our administrators pretty easily last year.
That would be good, because data, like the workplace would be different, and school data is very specific, so like what we can glean from that data, or, but basically what we can do with data first.
Please don't make me read another book.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
we're not going to amend this, so we can keep that book up there. If anybody wants to read it and share it with everybody else. we
That's
can
fine.
Do
We
it.
can do story time.
Yeah. All right.
I think
yeah,
as
if
far
you
as
could-
the data workshop too, I think it's important, I think our board is aware, but like, we've got these moving targets all over the place. So, first of all, like they changed the cut scores on the forward exam. Now they're changing the scores on the school and district report cards. Now they're looking at possibly changing the Pearson Ames Web monitoring cutoffs. And so, and the ACT changed. And so, like, it's all these moving targets, and I can appreciate like a 3-year goal. I get what we're trying to do, but also know there are other variables that we cannot control that get in the way of that. So that makes it very difficult to gather any sort of trend data or longitudinal data because they're moving the field goal post on us.
We lose that as a raw number in comparison to ours, but we still have that in comparison to others, right? So if we're 2 points ahead of McWanago and 1 point behind
Yes.
Muskego, I mean, we can still see that trend line. And while we all may jump up 5 points, if everyone else jumps up 5 points and we jump up 3, we fell behind,
True.
and vice versa.
Yep.
So,
And by the way, we still do not have the data from other Waukesha County school districts unembargoed yet.
Okay.
Who's changing these testings? Is it
DPI.
So DPI.
In some cases, ACT is a little different.
Yeah.
But DPI, again,
Yeah.
brought together experts,
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
and they brought together experts again this year for the school and district report card. I'm not sure anybody from Waukesha County was on that committee.
All right.
Yep.
And I think that was it. So that's it. So I think we have all of our motions needed because we amended where we needed to amend. Because,
I'm just wondering if, because you did two different amendments off of the initial amendment, the initial motion, that's kind of messy, and
I'll make
maybe
a
someone
motion.
should make
a
one that
motion.
encompasses everything, or just wait.
I'll make a
unt-
motion to approve the Board of Education goals
As
with
amended.
amendments, as amended. I'm not going to go through everything.
yeah.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Seidel, a second by Ms. Crosby. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes, so our board goals are approved. I will actually I wrote them already here. I will give you the official copy that you can use.
on Janet's sheet.
Yes, that's as presented on my sheet. So I'll send it to Mitch to make sure I got them right.
I'm not doing any spell check.
I didn't mean the spell part. Okay, let's see, what do we have next? We have a first read of policy 2266, non-discrimination on the basis of sex in education programs or activities. So this is a first read. Do we have any questions? Do you have any background you want to tell us?
No, this was just on the heels of the previous policies that the board approved based on updating our Title IX coordinators.
Okay. So we'll be approving that at the next meeting. Make sure you send Joe any questions before then. Another first read, policy 5517, student anti-harassment. Same there, if you don't have any questions now, make sure you get them to Joe before the next meeting.
Please
Go ahead.
summarize what that one was. Does that look like you're adding a portion to the policy?
Is that the bullying one?
Yeah, the bullying.
Yeah, the pink, is that what you're saying?
So we did not include the feedback that we received from legal counsel when we previously presented this. And now we have that factored in.
It seems just like the definition.
So everything that you see there is recommendation by our legal counsel.
All right, then we have an action item from closed session. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the employment services report as presented.
I have a motion by Ms. Spindler, a second by Ms. Crosby to approve the employment services report as presented. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. And then we have future meetings and dates. Our next meeting is October 13th, held here, 7:00 PM, conference room E. Then another one on October 27th and November 10th. I think I mistakenly said there was one on October 23rd or something at our last meeting, so just want to clarify, October 13th. And then there's other important dates. September 23rd is the budget hearing annual meeting, and October 13th, there's staff in service, no school.
Where's the budget hearing being held?
Here.
Yeah, okay.
And then also as a point of clarification, there will not be an additional board meeting.
Regular meeting.
It will just be the budget hearing and annual meeting.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Heller and a second by Mr. Seidel to adjourn. All those in favor, raise your right hand.